We leave the district of Appin and pass through Duror, continue on to the historic Ardshiel house, which dates from the early 16th century and was later set on fire by government forces in the aftermath of the 45. Charles Stuart, the fifth of Ardshiel, led the Stuarts of Appin at Culloden. Out of 300 men, 92 were killed and 65 wounded. He left the field and went into exile in France with the prince. His wife, the formidable Lady Ardshiel, was a mother of 7 at the age of 33 when Captain Frederick Scott fired the house. However, she remained at the estate for 3 years, and then in 1749 she went to France with her children. In 1760, Charles's son returned from France and rebuilt Ardshiel as it stands today, with some further additions added in the 19th and 20th centuries. The house was the birthplace in 1858 of Sir Charles Lockhart, who became Colonial Secretary of Hong Kong, naming his official residence Ardshiel, and today a Lockhart Road in the former colony, named in his honour, still exists. Ardshiel, for the major part of the last century, has been in the Sutherland family. The policies of 11 acres are a recent addition to the glorious gardens of Argyll, with the Victorian rockery, formal kitchen garden and fine lawns and specimen trees. The estate extends to 800 acres and includes one of the oldest natural woodlands in Scotland. This historic house and garden is set on its own private headland down a single-track, well-surfaced estate road. Nearby is the wood of Letter Moor, famous as the scene of the Appin murder, itself made famous by Stevenson's novel Kidnapped. A cairn marks the spot where Colin Campbell of Glenure, the Red Fox in Stevenson's novel, was shot, and is a short walk along a newly surfaced path off a forest track a few hundred yards off the main road. The area has recently been felled and opened up by Forest Enterprise. It was an old Scottish tradition to execute the guilty near the place of the crime. The ferry crossing at Ballachulish nearby was selected as a very visible and poignant sight. There has long been a crossing at Ballachulish, in Gaelic the village of the Narrows. The ferry was for many years run by the Camerons, well-known Jacobites, and less than an hour before his murder, upon crossing the ferry, Colin Campbell of Glenure was heard to say, "I am safe, now I am out of my mother's country," as his mother was Lucy, daughter of Sir Ewan Cameron, the 17th Chief of Lochiel. The ferry finally gave way to the bridge in 1975, which touches the timbered hill where a monument marks the spot where James Stuart was hanged for the Appin murder. It is a fact that James of the Glen's skeleton was left hanging on the gibbet for nearly 3 years, the bones wired together, until the remains were secretly buried at Keele Chapel. At his execution, James was heard to say, "If I am innocent, grass will not grow on my grave." Incredibly, to this day it never has. Much has been said and written about the true murderer, and legend has it that to this day some families in Appin know the truth.